Good morning. This is the November 18th, 2025 meeting of the Recycling Committee. Committee members present are Vanessa Vercotti, David O'Connell, Jean Landis-Nauman, and we have our visitor from Plymouth, Everett Malgoody, and online we have our Mass DEP Mac, Todd Kemp. This meeting is being recorded by the local scene. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. I don't see anyone online. First order of business are minutes.
We need to table those, please.
Okay, we're going to table the minutes. Okay, I have not received anything as an update from our acting superintendent of streets, trees, and parks, so we'll skip over that. Approve bills and finances. I have one bill, as I sent you all that summary of our expenses. And while I was going through that, I realized that I hadn't submitted one. It was for the plastic boxes that I ordered for the brochures. Okay, came to $98.93. I just need signatures on that, please. All right.
Do you pass them around?
Yeah.
Okay.
While we're on that topic, after you're done with that, we'll go over the committee expenses. Do you need me to print that out for you? Make copies?
Yeah, I looked at it on the screen. I didn't print one thing.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Morning, David.
Everett, how are you? Okay. How are things down at Plymouth?
Doing well.
Good.
And always aim for better.
Of course.
Being recorded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I have, they don't amount to a lot, but I have some receipts at home. that I
Okay,
keep getting
yeah,
put
I need
together.
you to bring them in, when you think about it, so we can get you reimbursed. Okay, so briefly, what I did was I went back over our bills for this year, so we can keep all this in mind. And I think, Todd, I sent it to everybody, so do you have it? Do you want it?
The what?
It's a summary of our recycling committee expenses for 2025.
I don't need it right now. We'll need it when we do
Okay.
the report. So
Okay, so I totaled up what we've sent to Black Earth. So far it's 3,300. And then under social media, hers varies quite a bit. It depends on what she's working on and how far in advance. Excuse me 1 second. Yes? I'm in the meeting? Okay, thanks. Bye. Sorry. So we knew from the start it was going to be about $25 a week. It hasn't quite come up to that amount, but that was what we had budgeted. So we had budgeted.
Excuse me, thanks.
Okay, we had budgeted roughly $1,200 for the year. We're at $630 right now. So we've still got billings for November and December to add to that. On the swap shop and the organic, I combined them simply because we've been, combining expenses for the two of them. But I wanted to get a grasp on where we were with that. And there we've spent about $4,000. we have this to add and then whatever you have. I don't know if Gene has any more.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Expenses.
He had stuff that he was gonna return to get credit, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was there, this, this weekend and, the sheets of pegboard were still there in the shed. So we're at 4,000 on that. Some of that was signage, which we had expected. And then on the textiles, well, it's not an expense, it's actually somewhat of income for us, but,
What do you know what the rate is that we'd multiply that by? I forget the
it's
number.
140 a ton.
And then pounds, so I have to convert that.
Yeah, so we're at 39,000 pounds, so you have to convert that.
Right.
So roughly 18. 1,800, is that right?
I don't know, I have to do it on a calculator.
Okay.
I don't, but anyways, but that goes into the town budget or the recycling budget?
No, everything goes into the
Town
town
budget,
budget.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. But it's still,
Income.
yeah,
No, it's really good. I just wondered where it landed. And that's what I
Yeah.
thought, all of those reimbursements, if we get
Yeah.
any, go into the town.
yeah, they go to the town and I send you the reports that I get every month. She's very good. Samantha's very good about sending those. So she sends the Kingston. And then she sends what they have at the, 5 schools. The schools are definitely pulling in more than what we are, but anyway, it's great to see all that material be.
The schools are open 24 hours. Anybody can drive
Right.
out there. They don't have to have a
Right.
sticker. They don't have to come during limited hours.
Right. And parents know that the money goes to PTO,
Yeah.
so, which is
So
good.
so all of that goes to PTO?
No, no.
5 schools.
Oh, just from the schools, okay.
Yeah, when I send you these reports each month, there's one for us and then there's one for the schools. And he pulls out at the bottom how much goes to the PTO. So the total weight in September for the schools was 4,375 pounds. For transfer station was 3,000 pounds,
School was what?
4,375. I've emailed this to you, David.
Yeah, perhaps you did.
You should have it. So 43.75 and then 3,000 for the town. So, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah, it is good.
over 7,000 pounds that didn't go in the trash. Any questions or?
No, oh, yes, I do. When at the transfer station, there are several containers.
Yes,
Which one is the one that benefits us?
the Bay State, the larger one.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought, okay.
Todd, did you say that all of the companies that collect textiles report that to the state?
I don't know.
Okay.
They're supposed to report. So when you do your solid waste survey from the town, like for RDP, for SMRP, that's when you get that information. But I don't think
From the private vendors?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what goes on with John Fisher's side. I really don't. So I don't know if they
Okay.
report that to him or not. I do
Okay,
know that
if
we
we
get our
have-
information from the town, but yeah.
Okay, because there's probably what, 4, 5 or 6 other bins there
Yes.
that take clothing and books and that sort of thing. The only one that I knew we get reports on is the Bay State.
No, you can call any of them. They should have reports.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we've done that before in other towns where people called, they had Salvation Army, they had Red Cross, they had some other stuff. It's not easy to get a hold of them, like Bay State is, because it does take a while, but they should be able to give you some sort of number, of the stuff that's coming out of there.
Huh. Okay. So do you know offhand if Kingston is collecting that information?
Offhand, no. I don't
No,
think
okay,
so.
I can ask Sean. we'll probably have to check with Lynn on that.
I think
Um,
last year Sean might have reached out to the other vendors that were up there,
to
but
get it.
I
Okay.
don't recall.
Okay. And then the external.
So that 39,000 pounds is about $2,600.
But it's a significant amount of tonnage that's not going into trash.
It is, yeah.
Right? If you multiply that 19 tons by what it cost us to dump, it saved us and
Well, that's-
gained us.
Yeah, that's, well, that's the other thing, is that there is this, there's, I think that's an important aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't cost us, and in fact, it gave us a return.
Exactly, and not only are we keeping things out of, not only is product not going into the waste stream, it's,
I'm hoping it's being reused. you know.
well, I would think that when it goes to these vendors or whatever collectors, that they're making the most of it, or, I mean.
I mean, they can't pay us a rebate if they're not getting paid.
They're precisely, so
Yeah.
there's definitely an outlet
Oh, yeah,
for whatever it
yeah.
could be.
yeah. I know a lot of it goes for insulation and that sort of thing. If the clothing is not, the textiles aren't able to be resold,
Right.
because I think a lot of them do work with people like Savers, or, if they find material that can be reused by someone.
So you guys,
I will.
Bay State's right down the street from you guys. I would call them up
Yeah.
and get a tour.
Oh,
We
no,
took
they're
it-
the ones that are giving us reports.
Yeah, but at least they'll tell you what's going on with that stuff, and typically it's the same thing
Mhm.
from company to company. So, and
Right.
it's almost all of the material gets either reused or recycled. Very small, like a very low percentage actually doesn't.
Right.
It's something like less than 1%. So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
all getting reused. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What was I going to tell you? Oh, you will see if you go into the swap shop, there is a plastic bag that has some pillows in it. And I know we've never taken textiles before, but there was a woman, she's the same one that had the nice white clock. There's a big white clock in there. And she said she had just bought a new set of bedding, and it came with all these pillows that she didn't want. And she said, they're brand new. I just took them out of the package. So I said, okay, I'll take them. So you'll see that there are some in there, but I don't want to take anybody's used pillows.
No.
You get into all kinds of
Not at
icky
all.
things. Yeah. Yeah. Because normally that's why we haven't taken textiles, because,
Don't know where they've been.
yeah. So any questions at all on the expenses so far? Okay. So the good news is that we did get awarded our RDP money. I sent that, the award letters to you. We were awarded the 7,200 because we had 12 points, and hopefully we'll have more, not this year, but the following year. And then we also were awarded for a paint shed, and that you said that was something you just threw in there, Todd. That would be something for Sean to take care of.
Yep.
Okay. And then our application for grant for the countertop collection thing was denied. So we didn't get the countertop, but we did get our regular RDP. Now the town administrator has to sign off, and then they'll send us the money. So, and then there's also, like we did for the swap shop, there's paperwork that has to be done for the paint shed, but that's not our responsibility. Any questions on that? No? So we'll be seeing another 7,200. Last I looked, we had 13 or 14,000, so that'll give us 21.
Points.
No, $21,000
Yeah, so
of available funding.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've been pretty conservative, and like I pointed out here, our social media has come in at about half of what we budgeted.
Yeah, which is good.
The Black Earth is the big one.
Yeah.
that we're paying for.
I noticed that the bins are extremely full this week.
Are people putting pumpkins in though? I wonder if there's pumpkins in.
Pumpkins is not-
Next to one of our bins.
Yeah, that should have,
Well, and I think then we may have to have some temporary signage that we can put up that says pumpkins can go right into the yard waste.
Yeah.
And then people will know, but I think you think it's a food thing.
Right.
actually I took a couple of pumpkins and took them home because they're
They
Really
were pretty
good.
the
decent.
decorations, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty decent. Yeah, people seem to get rid of stuff very
They do.
quickly, mums that are still beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't know. So where was I going?
Available funds so we can
Municipal funds.
plan the party, no?
oh, you mean
Well-
on a trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about the expense for Black Earth, and a couple different things have come up recently. One I sent you and the sewer department was there was a webinar on incorporating your organic waste into the sewer department. Now, I have to admit, I did not sit in on the webinar and I haven't looked at the recording. I do want to look at that. And I haven't had a chance. I want to look at that and then talk to sewer commissioners to see what they think. The other thing is there was on a listserv, the town of Rockport transfer station accepts both food and yard waste for composting. So residents are encouraged to bring the compostable materials in online bins. The composting area is clearly labeled and we share reminders and guidelines through their social media. They also do, like we do composting do's and don'ts and the mailers and tax bills. So I sent that on to, and then just like us, residents are able to take the finished compost. So I sent this on to Sean and he did respond, and his response was that he was concerned about, the usual things, rats, raccoons, that sort of thing. So what I want to do is contact Rockport and see what their experience has been and how they handle that.
Yes,
Because I don't think we want to continue to pay, like
Black Earth or any.
yeah, Black Earth.
Yeah.
We're at the end of our, we've just renewed for our second time. So we're in our third year of our 3-year contract. So we're going to have to decide sometime this year what we're going to do. If we're going to try and set up a new contract, or if we're going to try and see if we can incorporate the organic waste either into the sewer department or into the compost yard waste. It's a significant amount, and my hope was that there used to be a limit on how long you could use the RDP funds for this, and I was hoping that at some point we'd be able to switch it over to the town budget. Considering the fact that they're looking at a significant override this year, I don't think that's going to fly. So even though it's out of a $54 million budget, 3,400 is still, an amount that somebody would look at. So, so we're going to have to do a little more research, communication, see if there's some way that we can incorporate our organic waste into our current operations.
Are you going to contact Rockland?
Rockport, yeah. I was going to.
I would be, depending on what the response is, I would really be interested in seeing what it is they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Because if we can, obviously they would have the same problems that Sean mentioned.
Yes.
So obviously, well, not obviously, but I would assume that they have a way
some
of
control.
Controlling it.
Yeah.
And if that were the case, then it would be really nice to be able to do that.
It would be.
And I just wonder, and may also be interesting to hear what their level of success has been, because it might in fact enlarge the composting.
You're right, right.
And that's a tremendous, I mean, as we know, that's a tremendous amount of poundage.
It is. It is.
Plus, it's a good, it's a good use of otherwise wasted materials.
And what's the sewage?
Gene, do you know if Rockport is doing their own food waste, or are they subbing it out to someone else?
Well, this was on from Lori Stevens on the Recycle Mass Google groups,
Yeah, the listserv. Okay.
dated November 10th. And it just said they accept it for composting at their facility.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Black Earth or there was another company that was actually running that. That's what I was
It sounds
wondering.
like they are.
Okay.
Let me see if there's anything else in here. Okay. The transfer station foreman manages turning the pile with our heavy
Oh.
equipment.
So it is them. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like they're doing it internally.
Cool.
Because it was in response to a request from Susan Donaldson in Lincoln, wondering what towns have food compost collection at their transfer stations, how it's working. They're using Black Earth, and believe it or not, they've had some contamination issues and black mold issues, and they were wondering how others are handling it. I mean, contamination issues, I understand, we've had that ourselves, and it's a matter of educating the public and putting up signage. But black mold, I can't imagine how they're ending up with black mold. I did go on the Rockport website to take a look at it, and the composting at transfer stations talks about food and yard waste composting, lists all the things that they can accept, things that they can't accept. Pretty much what it looks like what ours is. And you just need to have a sticker. So I thought I would contact them about the concerns that Sean expressed, because I know that was one of the reasons when we originally set this up that Paul was concerned. And legitimately so. We don't want to have rats running around up there. So I will contact them and see what they're doing for rodent mitigation. Okay. Anything else on our finances? Okay. Swap shop. What do we need yet to do there? I think it looks really good. I think we came up with a workable floor plan. I appreciate everybody's help coming out that day and
I think the way they're set up is the way they're going to be. I mean,
well, we'll certainly try it and see, if there's any, as we go along, we may.
Yeah, the only thing I see going forward for changes is if we find we need more floor space for larger items or something. I don't know what they would be. Like I said, I think we go with what we have. It works or will work, I hope. But if we find, we're getting a lot of whatever this is, that's got to be on floor space, then we may have to shift things or take one set of shelves out or something.
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel like until we find out it doesn't work, let's let it work this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's pretty easy access for.
Yeah, I think we've met the standards of the widths we need.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's good visibility looking in.
Yeah.
We're still going to have the volunteers help for people. That top shelf is something heavy's on it.
We're not going to put heavy stuff up there.
Who knows what, how things fall when they're in there, but, you've taken pillows on this one exception.
Yeah.
But there are other things that will say, but I was there and I talked to the person. I'll leave a note here somewhere that says, this is here because I made an executive decision with the volunteer or something.
Yeah.
So those kinds of exceptions, I don't know what they'll be, but I like to go to Savers, and it's amazing to me the trends that go through. Everybody's getting rid of, I don't know, coffee makers, or everybody's getting rid of toaster ovens, or everybody's getting rid, and it's amazing. You go up and down the aisles and you think, where did they get this windfall of?
Well, I would imagine after Christmas, there's a lot of used coffee makers and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's stuff that's
You know,
upgraded too.
as people are getting new gifts and
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And those kind of cycles you see, but it's sort of funny to me when everybody's getting rid of all of those reusable coffee cup, these kinds of things, and the place is like 3 rows of it because it just flooded them.
Yeah.
Why did everybody think right now that was what they wanted to clean up? Who knows what we're going to get for ebbs and flows
Well,
with the.
you'll find that there's a huge box in there that I put in there. I've been cleaning out my basement.
I can't wait to put stuff up. We
And
can put it in there already.
Kind of, they're not Yetis, but they're.
I have glasses that I would love to
Everybody
move somewhere.
Everybody was handing out, drink containers, and you can only use so many, and a lot of them are still in the original packaging, and a lot of them were promotional. So, yeah, if you have stuff you want to move in there.
Okay, I got a key. I'll start putting glasses, just too many really nice glasses that.
Because that'll give us inventory when we first
open. Yeah. So I've heard back some volunteers to the swap shop, Kingston swap shop email. I just need to now send everybody out the 3 forms that they need to apply.
Okay.
And then if we start thinking about the sign up genius thing, I don't it's an idea. It's just another thing to manage. And I almost feel like it could be more personal if we don't do it that way. I don't know. I talk to people, varying amounts of commitment they want to make. But, also but I could be flexible if someone needed me to fill in or, but I don't know if sign up genius is where they're going to go and look all the time. I think sometimes just to put something on the email or.
Do you want to get all those calls?
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, again, it's sort of feeling it out. I know that one person was like, you got to have sign up genius. Yeah, but that's another tool to manage. I don't really want to take that on.
Right. But I think once you set it up, it's self editing because you set it up, you say, here are the time blocks that are available. But
then when they pull their name out of it, how do we?
Then they pull their name out. Somebody else might see that they want it. The thing is, if there's nobody shows up at the end of it, let's say somebody signs up from 9 to 11, and at 11 o'clock, nobody shows up to take over. They close it. We'll have the keypad. So if the next person's running late, when they get there, they can unlock it. So I don't think I would.
So when the keypad gets installed, can we override that with the key, or we have to always know the keypad code?
I don't know.
We're going to need to kind of have intervals where we change it and communicate it on whatever circle of people we need.
Yeah.
But I'd hate to have okay, you trust me to go and put my glasses in there. Do we trust every volunteer to go and dump their junk when they're dumping
Well,
other stuff at the
it's
dump?
going to be under the same restrictions that we're going to impose on the public. And is it really reusable? Is it broken? Is it racked? Is it filthy? Is it really something somebody can reuse? So, if they're using those rules for the public, I would hope they would use it for
themselves too. Yeah, you're right.
And obviously we're all going to be involved, in and out. And so if we see stuff there that shouldn't be there, we take it out. I really think people who are willing to volunteer to do this are going to take
the pride in it.
Yeah, some pride, some leadership in what's there. So hopefully that'll work. All right. So that's good to hear that you're still getting requests from volunteers. I do think the sign up genius might be the way for us to go. And it'll be, once you set up the hours, people can sign in or.
You have to have them all on an email list to be able to get to it too, I think.
Yes.
So will
once we know who our volunteers are. All right. The only thing I haven't bought yet is a broom. I haven't contacted, Everett.
Yes.
Do you know, what type of power pack they got for the swap shop? You know, to plug stuff in?
I can't remember offhand. I haven't
Okay.
seen.
Todd, do you remember what they ordered?
I don't.
No?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I need to ask, Ken, I think.
Um,
Would Ken be the one who probably
Yeah,
got it?
Ken, I think is on actually, the new model for the town of Prussians.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we need to get the door lock pad installed. I need to put up, signage, you know, what goes where.
I'll work with you on that if you want to see
Okay.
how we want to spatially arrange it.
Yep, that sounds.
And again, that will shift because of
Okay.
like, oh my God, we got all this kitchen glassware stuff. Oh, now we got all this whatever. But I think that's a good idea.
Well, I think we can guess a little bit based on what we got before.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
print out I'll take that acceptable items and we'll make little things that we can stick on shelves to see how that works.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, anything else on the swap shop right now?
Do you, the, info sheet holders, did you have one for the swap shop, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where you want to put that? I mean, it should be visible when it's closed.
Yeah,
Which means it needs to be, it can't be obstructed by the doors when it's open.
right, right. That, we're gonna be limited as to where we
Yeah.
can put that
Yeah, I
stuff.
know.
Like to the right of the window or something. on the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, all of them are, you know, with the covers.
Yes.
And, they're all in the swap shop right now.
Well, I have one on my
You have
car,
the
which
one.
I need to make a frame for it.
Right,
You know, the problem, it's.
Why do you have to make a
making
sign
more of
for
I'm
it?
probably making, not so much make a sign for it, it's, you know, it's so wide and the structure itself, I want to make something so
Oh,
it's
it's board backing.
yes, so it's
Yeah.
protected and,
Yeah.
and also, you know, and put it up in such a way that nobody's going to run into it.
right.
Yeah.
So,
But then once you have literature in it, you don't have to have a sign on it that says.
well, that's
Right there,
true.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, just let me know when that's,
Well, that's sitting in my car, so I'll, at some point I'll
at
get.
some point.
But they're 8.5 by 11, the one that's going over there.
Yes.
Yeah, because then I mean, we could, it's like, I like that laminator at the library, but you know, pumpkins go in yard waste.
Mhm.
Just to have it on the bottom half of that so you can still see the labels up there or something.
Yeah,
But those are temporary ones that we can just say, I mean, pumpkins aren't an issue in January.
right, but then at the highway barn, we'll laminate it. She will.
Yeah, she did some for me, so.
Yeah,
Good.
good. She does some.
It's
for
fun
us.
to do yourself, but it's
Well,
okay.
you enjoy doing it. You do it.
Anyways.
I prefer Lynn to do it.
So we gotta buy a power washer for the library. I realize it has to be a. What is it? It has to be electric because we can't have gas in the library. So it has to be an electric power washer.
Why are you putting power washing in the library?
Because the other library of things around town, they're all booked and I can't get them. And you can't put holds on other towns' library of
Right,
things.
right.
And Kingston doesn't have one.
So we haven't gotten a request from the library.
Oh, I told Donald, because he said, I don't know if you want to buy it for us. So I have to go have him ask us in order to do it.
Yeah, we need a,
Handshake.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
So it would have to be an electric, which I think many of them are.
Not as good as a gas, but we can have gas in the library.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even just a quick email from him saying, you know, would appreciate it if the recycling committee could furnish the,
Library with the,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be great, because we really haven't. I once a year I ask him if there's anything that they need, and he said they're all taken care of. All right, so the Black Earth contract extension we already talked about. Okay, and then tonight, and I want to thank you all for offering comments on the presentation. I appreciate that. So hopefully what I present tonight will meet all of your requests. The meeting is at 6. So
It's at 6.
mhm.
You know, I couldn't find it online.
Under the calendar?
It's on there. I just looked.
Yeah,
Did you?
Looking at it.
yeah.
I think I was trying to find the time and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, if you go, they've redone the front page of the.
Well, I clicked on.
Your calendar?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but if you do calendar, then it brings up the whole calendar, and then when you go to the date, you can click on them. And it does take you to another website, but then you can download the
Yeah.
agenda. Okay. So there's a couple things. We're near the top, so we shouldn't be there too long. Excuse me. And there's a lot of hiring tonight. So they're going to be busy filling things tonight. So we have that tonight. And Todd, this came out of our discussion, with you. So we put together pretty much a summary of everything we've done and how we've used the grant money to do all this for the town, and that we're all volunteers, and so I think I'm hoping it'll be educational. It's a little longer than I had thought.
Well, I think the idea, I mean, certainly for the library, when I was a trustee, the main thing we had to do every time was say how the Mass Board of Library Commissioners accredited libraries,
Mhm.
because they had to, if they took a cut, it had to be whatever. I think to say, we get this money this way, and then we do all this stuff for you, but if you don't recycle, then we don't get the money. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
And then they kind of, oh, you do all that. Well,
Right.
it gives you money. Oh, you give us the money through, and I
Yeah,
think for them to sort of
grant.
see how it's a fulfilling
Right.
for everyone. And so that, I think, yeah, it's going to be longer because, you need that education in there, and then everybody kind of feels like, oh, I get it. And that's what took me a long time on this committee to get. So I think for the public, it's going to have to be again and again.
All right. All right. So hopefully we'll get it across to them clearly what we're doing.
Dean, you didn't need me at that meeting, did you?
No.
Okay,
No.
I was just checking.
No.
Didn't know if you want me there because I'd rearrange my plans, but
No. If I had wanted you there, I would have asked.
So thank you for taking it on and doing it, Jean. I think
I think it's important.
it is important, and that you initiated is really great.
Yeah.
mhm.
And then tomorrow night, I'm going to try and convince the 300 committee to allow the AgCom to include their ag fair with the Old Home Days.
That's a good idea.
So we'll see how that goes.
Also, when you talk to them, I picked up one of the postcards at the Kingston Public Library, but if someone could go around, I mean, I would be willing to do that too. I think to have them somewhere at the Duxbury Library and somewhere at the Plymouth, just so that the libraries ought to buy a copy of it for their collection, but also people move around. So there's a lot of people in Plymouth now
Mhm.
who used to be in Kingston forever
Right.
that might go to that library and go, oh, this is how I get it. I just scan it off this card. This is great. And so if they have those postcards, put them out. Like I said,
Okay.
that public libraries buy them. That would be nice if they had one in their collection, but also.
Are you talking about the book?
Yeah, the postcards for the book. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Just
Now
the
that's
how
a
to-
separate committee.
The book is part of, oh, okay.
Separate committee.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's that to talk to?
Ken Brack.
Oh, he's on all of them, isn't he?
Tom Vendetti.
I'll talk to Tom about
I
it.
think who else is on there? Yeah, did you see Jan Guidoboni's going to be the guest speaker at the gala?
No, but that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean,
So wonderful.
she knows so much about what's going on and what has happened here. Should be
It's
interesting.
really great.
Okay, so now we come to what, if anything, do we want to purchase for people who buy a sticker this year? Oh my, I put extra 20 and 2 in there.
Yeah.
Jeez. So I've been in touch with our contact at Quality Logo, and the first thing she sent me was a pack of papers with about seeds and all sorts of stuff. And I said, no, you're going to think that's what we were interested in. So
You can
then
pass it this way. I just wanted to look.
sure. And then she sent us this second package, and she called me the other day and she said, did you get the package? And I said, no. She said, well, somebody named Valerie signed for it. And I said, you sent it to the townhouse. And she goes, oh, I did. So everybody has been calling me and telling me, you know, there's a package here for
And then you got it again.
So what she included in this package, and you're going to have to help me understand what this is. I don't know what it is.
It doesn't say anything.
No. Okay, and this is a Gap 3-in-1 cleaning brush. Don't have that around.
There's nothing in the envelope. You take those top things.
No, there wasn't. Oh, that's another thing.
Really?
I didn't see anything. I guess it's supposed to be self-explanatory. This is a grip and twist jar opener. This, I assume, is some sort of cleaning brush,
Yeah, or like a water can
I
or
guess.
reusable.
And then this is a little, it says Piva zip closure utility bag. Not sure what you would do with this,
Oh, we use little sandwich bags.
but it
Like
was,
Ziploc bags.
I think it's utility though.
yeah.
I suppose if you wanted to put like pens and whatever stuff in your glove box and they would all stay in one place as opposed to.
I'm not sure how people would react to
Come on, you're young. What is this?
Let me see.
Yeah, it might go on a pen or I have no idea what you would do with that.
what is it?
Do you put a straw in? I don't know.
That was like one of those straw tops, like from the old fashioned water jugs that had like the plastic bendy straw on it, but that would go on top of it and that would.
Yeah, I wonder if like they're the cups that have the straw stuck in it and then you just put it on. So
That would make sense.
you put it on the straw. Well, yeah, you put it around and then
Yeah.
And then pop that off. But
Thank
hopefully
you.
those, I don't know, and I suppose you could put it on a hot or iced coffee or something like that.
I guess.
I think that's more trouble than whatever to ask, but
I think a lot of people are gonna go, what the heck? Because I thought the openers that we did were kind of clever, and people were like, huh, what is this, you know?
Mhm.
this one is a little bit cool though.
That one looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
This one's okay. I don't know what the cost is on that one. And that one's okay. You know, I told her we were looking for things specifically related to recycling and reuse and she said it, you know, if we want more, she'll send us more ideas. So you let me know what you want to do.
Well, I don't know. I would find this the most useful, but in the same way, the opener, we thought that's really useful. And people were like, really? I mean, I think bags we don't need to do. Well, this might be.
I just don't see a lot of people thinking that's really.
No, it's like a little pencil case, but not really long enough for pencils. And
Yeah. They're probably
I'm
just
sure what people, I mean, I love little pouches and whatever stuff. I mean, look at my tissues. But then the plastic all kind of wears away and then the tissues are like, I can't offer that to anybody now. but, yeah, just in terms of what the size of it is and.
Yeah, I just
Like I
don't
said,
see a
it's
lot of
cute,
people
but,
finding.
and then this, I think we're all done with thing openers. A novel way to do it, but
Yeah,
more things are pull tops.
yeah,
You have to use your can opener.
nice.
Nah,
What? What's nice?
What you,
one,
yeah,
This is a nice brush.
yeah,
I just don't know what the price is on that.
that's
She
too
didn't say
big.
there's a
I think
price
this is a better idea because it's little,
Yeah,
you know?
'cause-
And brushes are just, I find, I'm
little,
cleaning
little.
lots of stuff with.
Bless us if she has to have, 3,000 of
Right.
those
Yeah,
in
yeah.
her office.
Because I do the soda stream,
Mhm,
but you really have to clean out the bottles.
mhm.
I mean, I think because I drink out of the bottle more so than if I had just poured it in a glass every time, but I keep it on the headboard. So this can't fit in those.
Oh, it can't. That's
No,
right.
so really it's for
Yeah,
the
it's
bigger water bottle things. They show up bigger,
Like
or
this.
for something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice brush.
But I think this little thing, so even when you use a cup like you do,
uh-huh.
when you, I don't know, is it a screw top that comes out of the middle?
This one just pops up.
Yeah, but so for this one,
Some it screws on.
it screws on. So that one that has sort of the side thing, then you get to kind of get into here and
Right.
get into there more so than you would with a big brush.
And it does actually have something on the bottom.
I know,
That's
it's a
what I find with a
Big,
lot of products.
yes, they don't.
There's nothing on the.
That's-
So you're not cleaning anything. And I wish they were a little bit longer on the bottom because that's really the place you're trying to get clean.
Right, yeah,
So,
but it does seem to have more than
Something,
a
yeah.
lot of them. It's got
Yeah.
almost like a scraper
right.
type thing.
But those, it's just too big. Sometimes you can find those and they're on an expandable, so that if you put it
Mm.
away in the drawer, it's only the
Mm,
length of the brush and the handle and it's all inside the rest of the way. But
okay.
it's just too big.
I think it is a little big. Shall I ask her for some more ideas?
Yeah, more ideas, but also
Yeah.
follow up on what the price is on that other little cleaner thing.
Okay, on this one?
Yeah.
What do you think, David? Find that,
I think it's interesting. I'm not, I don't know how that is.
the first thing that drives me nuts is made in China.
Everything she sends
It
us.
makes me
To
shudder.
clean unique crevices in a drink vessel. Use the U-shaped brush to clean the tracks. So that's what you were talking about.
But then it has a little pop-out one, so like if you had a sip
Yeah.
hole that you wanted to like then stick it in.
Clean straw holes. Okay,
Hey, Gene, before you buy anything with RDP funds, make sure that it's approved.
I will. I
Because
will run
last
it
year
by
we
you.
last year we ran into that thing with the can openers and they were like, no, and I talked them into it. So
I know, I know.
if it's this year though, they did say if it's not on the list, it's not going to be approved.
Okay,
So this is
what list are
strike
we
count?
talking about?
The RDP spend report
Please.
list is on the website. If it's not on the list, it will not be approved. So
Okay,
When we were in Taiwan, everyone got their to-go coffee.
yeah, because they're gonna be a lot more strict this year than they've ever been. So
okay.
When they
that's
put
a
down,
good-
they had a little
very
bite,
good
but they put
reminder.
whatever.
And you know what? I may
And I think
send her that.
something
list,
like-
so
Something
she-
like that was on the top of the straw.
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Stuff,
but-
bicycle stuff isn't fine, whatever.
No.
We're talking about why this is worthwhile, but I think if you really are, when we were in Taiwan, people would have a cloth bag that they would put their coffee in when they bought it. Maybe hang it on their bicycle or their scooter while they're
Oh,
going.
okay.
So to be able to cover up the straw that's on the top because it's already in there by the time they serve it to you. And particularly if you're using recyclable, like metal straws, it's really great to then,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then you take both parts home and wash them and stuff like that. I don't know that that's going to catch on here anytime soon, but it's a useful tool in a world where people do
where
that.
people do that. Okay, so Todd, what I was saying is that I will take a look at that approved list. And I'll send that to my vendor, so she knows the type of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have ideas on the approved list that we're not even thinking about too.
Yeah,
yeah, and if it's not on the list, it won't be approved this year. So
Yeah.
and then you're
Can
gonna be
you-
out the money.
yeah, can you send me that link, please?
Yeah,
For
sure.
for that list you're talking about?
You got it.
Okay, thank you, Todd.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see.
Yeah, there's no point in her sending us stuff that we can't buy.
Yeah, that's what my concern was because last year was a pretty big battle.
Yeah, I'm
And
sorry
I'm like, they
about
already
that.
bought them, and so that's why they caved. But
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
no,
Um,
it's not. It's not anyone's fault. I mean,
We
the other
just thought
thing.
it was a way to reduce the number of things that you buy to open things with.
I know where you're going, and I like that, but keep in mind DPS is very strict requirements on how to spend the money based on their lawyers and all kinds of stuff. And the lawyers are getting
Sure.
they're getting very heavily involved in this stuff now, and I don't know why, but
That's what happens when the lawyers get involved, right?
all the fun goes away. All the fun goes away.
But they keep us out of trouble.
Some of
Right.
us.
All right. All right, what else we got here? If you think of something else, we really people really liked the reusable shopping bags with the.
The shopping bags, I think, are really valuable.
They are, but they're very expensive.
Yes, they are. And the other
Yeah.
thing I like is spatulas, which spatulas, the
Yeah.
little square.
Yeah, and remember we looked for those last year. She didn't have the same kind. She sent us one that was.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is that you can have they were printed.
I use mine every day.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah,
What are they?
The little tiny spatulas, they're about that long.
but it's
and
like half
and
the width of
and
a
and
regular.
the blades like that. So if you want to clean out a jar, they're perfect. And the handle's about that. I actually have two of them. I somehow one handle got broken, but it's long enough to use in a small jar.
The only thing is the handle is plastic, and if you use it in a fry pan, it melts.
You got to be careful with
Yeah.
that. I think that's what happened to one like a pro.
Yeah, mine has got all kinds of marks on it, but it's really great.
They're handy.
Yeah.
But we also have to make sure in your talk to say the people who get them are the people who buy the transfer station stickers.
Well, that's
We don't
Well,
give
that's
them. Yeah.
They only get them when they get their
Right,
sticker.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that if
that's-
people don't go, wait, I gotta go get in line, where's mine? Did
Yeah,
you
well,
buy a
let's mention-
sticker? And then they ran out. I know she ran out on the bottle openers that year.
Yeah, well, we've run out on the bags because they're so expensive. We only bought 1,000.
Yeah, I
Right
think
now,
bags,
we're
they're
s-
useful, but God, I have so many bags. And I'm sure a lot of people
What's
do.
nice
that's
about
what
them is they're insulated and they're zipped. Unfortunately, they're not hardy. If you use them, I use them all the time.
I do too.
But this is, I think, if people would get into the habit of,
Yeah,
this is the bag.
Yeah. Is that a bag? You mean
It's not an insulated bag,
no, but it's a bag.
it's a full-size bag.
yeah.
So then I am lying at the grocery store, forgot to bring my bags, but oh wait, I have this little one in my purse that I can.
I've actually gone to check out and say, can I leave my card here? So because I forgot a bag.
Bag,
Or
right.
I didn't have it. Well, instead of I have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I use them. Yeah, I do. And I don't know why. My daughter gave me one of hers,
Yeah.
and I don't know what she uses, but
Well, I see people using them at the grocery store.
yeah, I see more and more.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway,
But they're just
They're
a little
handy.
pricey. That's the only thing.
they are, and I understand.
Yeah, and we're selling close to 4,000.
Stickers.
Stickers, yeah, when I went, I don't have one in my notes here, but
Wow.
when I went and talked to her about, information for the ag fair, and she said, that was 2-3 months into the selling season, and she was approaching 4,000 at that point, and she said, I still
I
got a
mean,
long way
some
to
of
go.
them are secondary, but still,
Well,
for
and
us,
people, yeah, they say, oh, no, I just switched. What can I do? Different people that I'll see down at the transfer station. I think, yeah, good for you. Well, let me tell you about all the great things. And then, yeah, the whole idea that it's the new grocery store because, people have the food delivered or they shop at Market Basket or BJ's or something.
right,
Not like when we were all shopping out of 2 grocery
place.
stores.
yeah.
So the transfer station is now that hubbub place, which is really fun.
I see so many people there that I know. I do a quick run and half an hour later I'm leaving and Art will go, where have you
Well,
been?
I ran into some friends when we went to vote on Saturday, and I said, "Wow, hanging out here, it's almost like being at the transfer station." They're like, "That's where we're going next."
All right, so we'll continue to explore what's available that's approved. And thank you for that reminder, Todd. We don't want to
Yep.
get into trouble. And take it out.
But yeah, so if you look at that list, maybe there's some ideas that we don't even think about.
Right.
Which would be good.
Yeah. Okay, just want to remind you, the next SSRC meeting is tomorrow. I have Norwell, is that correct? Or is it Abington?
On the agenda, it said Situate, so I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I had originally Norwell on my calendar, and when I opened the agenda, it said Situate, so I don't know. An excellent question.
I have Cohasset.
You have Cohasset? Oh boy. Well, because I was going to go to that one in person, so.
Better know which town to drive to.
Huh. Hang on a minute. I know I have a new phone. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. Let me see. That would come from, did it come from Claire?
That one came from Claire. I'm
She better know where
texting
she's
her right
going.
now. I'm just texting Claire. I said, good morning. Tomorrow's SSR meeting is in Norwell, Situate, or Cohasset. We'll just list
This
them all.
one says Cohasset. What I have from her.
Oh my gosh. Because originally it was Norwell. And then I
That's
opened
what
up
I thought.
something.
This
like
says Cohasset Senior Center Room.
Did she change it again? A
I
couple
don't
days
know.
ago it said Situate, I thought. Oh boy.
Yeah, she might want to just reinforce where we are.
Let's
Okay, and the
see.
speaker is going to be Rebecca Ferguson from Mass DEP, Environmentally Preferable Purchasing Resources and Policies. So this is the new process that we're going to be doing, and it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, but it's replacing the annual notice that we sent out to buy recyclable things to all the departments. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say it's replacing it. I would say it's a completely new thing. So it's replacing it, but we're scrapping the buy recycle policies completely, going with a environmentally preferable purchasing,
Okay.
whatever they're calling it, EPP
Same
thing.
idea, different words.
Well, it's not anywhere near. It's not even the same. It's not even close. It's
No?
completely different. It's a
Okay.
totally different policy. So,
Okay.
where the buy recycle policy basically needed, we're going to buy recycled products if and when they're equivalent or cheaper than their non-recycled counterpart. Right?
Mhm.
That's really the gist of it. The EPP goes into, everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It needs to be sustainable. Really, is what it is. So it's a completely different policy.
Okay.
Yeah. There'll be
All
more to
right.
come on that. I don't, like I said, I'm not totally up to date on that. I need to get educated on it too, but they're giving us some time, and they're giving the municipality some time to update that. So those aren't even due until when RDP is due in June. So.
Okay. The other one had to go out in January, right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, it didn't have to go out. It had to be submitted to Boston by February 15th. That's one of the three items that was required.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you were late, you lost a point. But we're changing that. So.
Okay. All right. So if nothing else, it'd probably be worth your while to zoom in and hear her presentation tomorrow.
Mhm.
The meeting starts at 9, and after introductions, they go right into the speaker. So it's the first thing up, as you know. So that would be worth it. I was probably going to zoom in anyway, so it doesn't really matter where it is physically, but for others, it might be important as to
Yeah.
where we're going. All right, let me see if I have anything else. There was the waste reduction news. That was what you put together, Todd?
Me?
Yeah, the waste reduction news.
Oh,
From-
the Mac
from
newsletter?
Max, yeah, so you
Yeah,
should
it's a
have
team
gotten
effort.
that. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, so not quite recycling. We'll get to you in a second, Todd, but not
That's
quite
fine.
recycling. was a couple of different things, articles that I read. One had to do with how Sweden treats their snowy roads. One is traditional sodium chloride. One is circular salt. This is a newer, more sustainable option derived from byproducts like fly ash. Allows for the recovery of salts from waste materials, making it a more environmentally friendly alternative. Circular salt has the same chemical composition as traditional salt, but is purer and finer. And then the other one is edible salt. Some regions in Sweden are experimenting with using edible salt for road treatment, which is less harmful to wildlife compared to traditional chemical. Companies like SVEVIA are testing circular salt in maintenance areas to evaluate its effectiveness compared to imported traditional salt. It aims to enhance local production and reduce reliance on imports, potentially making Sweden self-sufficient in road salt. So I just thought that was interesting. I know here they've tried to use a few different things to reduce the amount of salt runoff and that sort of thing. So I think here we use a combination of salt and sand.
Yeah, it's too bad they don't get the salt from the desalinization plant. I wonder if they do.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I know they go to Chelsea. Chelsea is where everybody
that
goes.
mountain
their
is,
salt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder what they do with that at the desalinization plant. Probably sell it to China.
Good question. Good question. And then the other one was an article about landscaping. And it says scientists discover an ancient landscape in our own backyard. And had to do with patch of remnant grassland. For more than a century, American conservation has been about trees. But the whole premise was flawed. We now know that European settlers were not met by a vast forest when they arrived, but by a landscape with large swaths of open prairie and savanna. We also know that in our temperate climate, these grasslands hold a lot more plant and animal life than forests, and that planting such grasslands can be a far more efficient way to pull carbon out of the atmosphere than planting trees. They've discovered tiny, still intact remnants of these forgotten grasslands, plant communities that have been here for thousands of years and somehow managed to survive without being turned into, being used. So there's a whole article about it, but they have discovered all these micro I don't know what you want to call it, colonies of animals and bugs that you don't find anywhere else.
And this is
And
in grassland.
and grasslands, yeah.
It's gotta be like in Kansas or something.
This was probably out of the Washington Post. I can send you the
Yeah,
article.
would you?
Yeah. So I sent it.
Well, prairie lands were really important part of the environment
Yes,
until we came along.
right. Yeah. And in fact, there's still little patches of that original from many centuries ago. So I sent it to Matt Pinella because I know that's an area he's involved in. And he said he is a big grassland fan. That was a big part of why they shifted the Davis property towards the end result of sand plain grassland establishment, rarest habitat in Mass, and this will be roughly 10 acres once it's established. He says, unfortunately, lots of environmentalists are fighting against forest management because of climate change. But so Matt's aware of it. He's already trying to incorporate it here in Kingston, which I think is wonderful to hear. But I will send you, Vanessa, do you have any interest in this article?
Yes, you can send it. That would be great.
Okay.
Where's the Davis property again?
Is that the one at the ball fields or?
Oh, I don't know.
But I don't think it's one of the ball fields. Where's the Davis property?
Is it like down by, is it the end, it's not at the end of May Ave. It was something down there too, I thought.
No, that's the one at end of, is a housing development at the end of May Ave that they're trying to push through. It's
I probably
less
have a
than an
map.
acre and they wanted to put 28 units.
That's okay. I probably have a map at home I can look at.
Article. You know, it's a good question. I should know where the Davis property is.
I probably do, and I'll go, oh yeah, that's right, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, I should know where it is. I know downstairs they have little.
Maps,
It's
walking
folded,
ones.
yeah, like a little walking map for each of the properties that the town has. So if you just stop by the conservation office, they've got wonderful maps. So right away you can tell where the Davis property is. Okay, anything else from our group? Where I asked Todd to update us. Todd, any words of wisdom for us today?
No, just good job on RDP. There's a lot of people that didn't get it. The other thing I do want to mention is I'm going to be putting together a series of meetings next year for the recycling coordinator or whoever the designated person is for the solid waste and recycling in each town to meet on like a quarterly basis and just kind of go through issues. So I'm in the planning phases of that right now.
So that would be Sean and maybe the superintendent or the supervisor at the transfer station.
It's only gonna be one person representing each town.
Okay,
So
so
it's gonna
Sean.
be it's either you or Sean, really.
It should be Sean.
The date I'm looking at is Wednesday, January 21st from 10 to 11. So
And that's
I've
a
got-
one-on-one, or you're gonna get a bunch of people together?
it's just gonna be one representative from each municipality.
Oh, it's but a group of all of them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
So, but I figured I'd let you know first. So,
Okay, yeah, I think Sean would probably be the appropriate person for Kingston.
if he can make it, if not, you're the fallback.
No, he's got an assistant now. I think the town, and this is not official, but from what I'm hearing, the town is going to move to fill the position of superintendent of streets, trees, and parks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've, I know on the agenda for tonight, it does include something about, DPW. But they were gonna have a series of meetings and that hasn't happened, so, I think they're just planning to make that a permanent position, fill the position permanently for now.
Yeah.
Because it's been open for a year, almost a year. When did Paul leave? March?
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, so it's been nearly 9 months, 8 months. So we'll have to see, how they fill that and who would be the person.
Is Sean a contender for that position or is he not?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't. But that's just what I'm hearing, that it's not official. So, all right. Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
Okay, so some of your towns didn't get RDP this year, huh?
Some didn't.
Just because of the mass housing thing?
Well, there could be multiple issues. The one I talked to, it was MBTA.
Yeah,
So, and they knew about it because they haven't gotten any grants this whole year. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they just said we're holding out. We're not going to comply.
Right, yeah. So now how
So-
does that affect you in your position? Is it, is that a mark against you?
No, not at all.
Be right?
I have no control over that. So
Okay, all
that's
right,
that's nothing against me.
okay.
What are they gonna do with all the extra money?
Don't know.
You have to
Probably
give it back or it stays in the pool?
it probably just stays in the pool. You know, with the way the WEC credits work, the waste to energy credits,
Mhm.
it's impossible to understand. I've tried, and um, if the credits go unused, it stays in the pool, gaining interest at DEP, um, that we can use to further the programs. So continue funding them.
Hmm.
So if
Any just possibility of them increasing the amount for each point?
no, not at all. No, they're cutting back big time. So as you
Well,
probably
we can
tell,
always hope, you know.
you know what? We all are hopeful for that kind of stuff, but it ain't gonna happen. The last 2 years have been brutal on Southeast Three, and it's literally gone from 400,000 down to 300,000 down to 200,000. Literally, it's ugly. It really is, and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. So they're
Now,
in a
this is
cutting.
not this, is this the same pool of money that all these other grants come out of?
No, this is just our stuff.
Just
So
RDP?
yeah, it's my salary that comes out of there. It's my group that I work with. It's our salaries that come out of there and RDP funds. So
Okay.
all the grants. There's like they do the what are the recycling business development grants out of there, and some of I don't know if the big ones, the large scale, come out of that or not. I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah, it's a pool of money, and if it ever dries up, there goes my job. But
Yeah. Well,
I don't.
you did say at some point that this could end, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Because
No
of
one's
the
ever.
funding source?
No one's ever said that to me. I mean, it
Oh,
all
okay.
depends on the waste energy credits, and if those do go away, I'm not sure how they fund this whole thing. I don't know if they'd find the money elsewhere or not. I'm not privy to that information, so
Who
I can't.
controls that? Is that the state legislature or is it,
DEP?
no, I mean,
See,
who controls the money? In other words, where it comes from and why,
I
who
don't know.
decided that it shouldn't be as great as it was?
Is that a law or a regulation?
I have no idea. That's the thing. It's up on DP's website. I've tried to read through it, and it's literally like trying to read Sanskrit. It doesn't make sense. So I know as they burn the trash at CMAS and Wind Waste up north, they create energy credits. So
Mm-hmm.
people buy them to offset their pollution, which is a weird
Mm-hmm.
way to do it, but that energy credit gets split between DEP and the company generating it. So if the value of the credit is $20, you split it $10 each, right? They sell
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands and thousands of these credits. They do have a value to them that are set every certain amount of time. I mean, and I
Mm-hmm.
think they were set. I don't know if they're sunsetting this year or last year or maybe next year, but there was the original, and I think John Fisher has something to do with this, the negotiating of it. Um, but it is the state. I think it's the state legislature that has something to do with it too. But I don't know how far John Fisher's can go with that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I do know he's part of it. Is what it's been
Right.
told to me. Um, and it's keeping those things going.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Todd. All
Mhm.
right, Everett. Any update from what's going on with recycling in Plymouth?
I have no updates yet until we go through our master list of
Mhm.
committee proposals,
Mhm.
which
I think that's an interesting concept.
we have, I think, 25 different proposals from all the members of the committee that
Mhm.
are being weighted and vetted by the committee.
Okay, can you give us a couple of ideas of what you proposed?
One that I proposed is a program in combination with Recolor. And that is to have the town enter into an agreement with that company so that we can have the paint that the town produces, but also the citizens produce, be recycled through them, but then also buy the discounted paint
Paint.
for the operation of the facilities maintenance for the town
Okay.
operations and school facilities.
That's an interesting one, because I don't know, Todd, when you and Sean put in for the paint shed
Mhm.
grant, what did he have in mind for that?
Collect the paint. That's really what it was. It was just
Which
collect the paint.
one? The latex or the oil-based?
Latex, oil-based, they can't recycle. So
Right,
that's still,
that's
but there's not that much oil-based left, which is pretty wild. You talk to the companies that recycle it, like Recolor,
mhm,
what's her name? Tanya Keeble, and she's like, you don't see that much out there of the oil-based anymore. So,
okay,
uh, but no, the paint shed's
okay.
gonna, I, I, I have a suspicion, and this isn't fact. This is
Mhm,
just a theory of mine that because they offered that grant, they're looking at
mhm,
banning paint at some point. And I'm not
mhm,
sure if that's because the paint bill's going to go through. I know it's being pushed through the legislature now, and if it goes through, you're gonna be really happy you have that paint shed. I'll tell you that much. So,
mhm.
um,
Okay,
yeah,
all right. So you guys don't have a paint shed yet, right?
We do not.
So that could go in your list. Is that would be part of your presentation?
Possibly.
Yeah, okay, all right. So that's something, I'm gonna talk to Sean, see what he has in mind. If he's working on it, is he working on a contract with retailers?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Okay,
last time we talked about this was when we applied for the grant, so that was quite a few months ago.
right, right.
Now,
What else?
now would be the start. Now would be the time to start the discussion to figure out once that stuff gets signed and sent back into Boston, just, let's start looking at the sheds and getting the
Mm-hmm,
program set up. So, but there's a process. There's a process.
mm-hmm, okay, all right, okay.
You know, I know it's not an agenda, pay as you throw. Is there anything?
Oh, how did we forget? You know what? It's not on the agenda.
New business.
Okay. But I think we can cover it under updates from the DEP MAC. Todd and I and Kim, Sean and his assistant, what's his assistant's name?
I don't remember. Keith, maybe? I don't know.
I have it in the minutes, but I didn't bring my notebook, so.
That's right. But we met with Sean. Sean called the meeting to talk about pay as you throw because of the budget crunch that they're experiencing. And obviously he feels the same as Paul did, that pay as you throw is really going to be the only way we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of trash that we're throwing away. Because it forces people to realize the value of what they're throwing away.
Mhm.
It's costing them per bag to pick up, to throw something away. So there were going to be conversations, I think, with other officials in the town. We didn't set a date for a next meeting, right, Todd? I don't have a
No, I was going to work on some numbers real quick, but there needs to be, for this whole process, there needs to be a TA grant to help cover the costs. So the TA grant,
Mhm.
well, first of all, the technical assistance grant is the first thing that we want to fill out. So I can work with Sean on that as soon as I get some time,
Okay,
hopefully later this week,
okay.
and get that working because Boston wants me to do a TA grant for each project that's more than like an hour or two of my time, and this is going to take a lot more. But that's also
Mhm.
the prerequisite in order to get the money to to
All
to
right.
to fund the program from the beginning. Um, but no, this whole thing actually it actually started with an email from Kim to me about her talking to someone at MMA
Right.
and noticing that the solid waste, the trash coming out of Kingston was really high. And so she was concerned about that. And so the email came out. She wanted to talk about some ideas. And I said, all right, well, let's. Then all of a sudden I get a call from Sean, like a couple days later, And he's like, Todd, this whole thing's bugging me about the solid waste. And I said, it's ironic because Kim just emailed me. He had no idea about that.
Mhm.
So this whole thing, we've set the meeting for, I think it was last Monday, and had a 2.5 hour meeting about this. And I was blown away. Kim was on board with this from the beginning. She's like a super recycler in my book.
Mhm.
Her husband, not so much, but she is. And so she was all for it. And I was, like I said, I was really kind of blindsided because I wasn't expecting that at all. So I was like, all right, well, if you want to try this, I'm all for it. And I know Gene would be all for it because we've talked about this for years.
Mhm.
And so we're gonna give it a run and see what we can do. It's gonna be a big process of education. We got to educate the public. We've got to figure out if we're gonna go, make it a regulation through the Board of Health or the Select Board, or is it going to go to town meeting? Which we really want to not. We kind of want to steer clear of that. But there's a lot of ways to get this passed. Like in Plimpton, it was done through the Board of Health with the backing of the Board of Selectmen. So there are other ways to do this, and it was a very let's just say when I got out of the meeting, I was pretty hyped up. I was very excited. So I think it's headed in the right direction. Um,
Yeah.
and the discussion also kind of led to a little bit about what's going on with the new potential transfer station there too. And it's like, well, wait a second. Even though it's going to be built, it could be 3-4 years down the road. It's not going to happen next year, so it's not going to help your budget probably anytime in the next 2 to 3 years. So you've got to do something now. That's pay as you throw. And then you keep it in place and you lessen the trash coming out of Kingston. So it was like I said, it was an incredible meeting. I haven't been that hyped up in a while. So yeah, it was very exciting, very encouraging. So, and then the other thing I thought was interesting was Kim asked, how many of the towns in my district don't have pay as you throw? And I told her there's not many. So she's like, we're one of the last. I said, yeah, you're one of the last. So
We always are. We always are.
she goes, well, maybe it's
Kingston-
time we really start looking at this. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Kingston has never been known for innovation. We like to make sure things are tried and true before we adopt them. So
We're one of the first
think,
to do food
you know,
waste.
yeah, so I think, this could be a major push for us in the next year. Once we get the swap shop up and running and work with the town on pay as you throw, we'll get the support from the Board of Health and from the selectmen to make this a go. It's an easy process. It truly is. Instead of buying your box of black trash bags, you buy your rolls of colored bags.
And then our reward when you buy your stickers, you might get a big bag.
That's right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
it would take little space in the office.
Yeah.
And you buy the transfer station sticker, not a big brush.
But when you're at the transfer station and you watch these pickup trucks come in with loaded, and that
Those black bags are full of stuff that shouldn't be in there.
well,
Yeah.
you can tell just by the shape of the bags.
Yeah. Well, they bypass the recycling bins and go right to the trash.
That's right. Oh yeah, yeah. And I don't know where they're getting all the trash, whether they're picking up other people's trash or what.
We don't know. We have no way of
That
really
will-
knowing.
That will stop almost immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has to go through a town vote or it can just be mandated.
It can be a
Well,
regulation. That's what they
Yeah.
did in
If you get
Plimpton.
if you get the Board of Health on board,
Yeah.
just talking about it, they
We could
just
talk to Rosemary. I think she would come
It's a
around
public-
quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I think
pub-
there are members
Yeah.
of the Board of Health that would certainly give it serious consideration.
I think if
So
I think if we
Certainly
have the
time has come. And people can certainly talk to the other towns around them and know, oh, they're all doing it too. It's not this innovative,
Yeah.
strap your hands kind of thing and punish you.
it's tried and true.
It is.
True and tried.
It is. Yeah.
So
So
that's why our load of trash coming out is so big because we're competing with places that have pay as you throw.
yeah.
Is that true, Todd?
well, you just have there's no reason for someone to recycle in the town of Kingston. You don't give them
Well,
any
there's
reason.
a law, but nobody enforces it.
Yeah.
Or a law, a
Well-
regulation, or whatever we have.
What's the
bylaw.
regulation on people going to the transfer station? There isn't any.
I thought there
That's
was to
on-
recycle.
There's a
there-
bylaw. that
that's on
requires
private haulers.
recycling. Yeah.
That's on private
no.
haulers.
No,
The
we
state,
moved
the
it.
state. Well, hold on. So the state has waistband laws, which
Right.
nobody's aware of for some reason, and they've been around since like '86 or '88. Uh, the town has a bylaw that you've got regulations that require private haulers to bundle their services, trash and recycling. There's no law there that I'm aware of that requires your residents to have a dump sticker to recycle.
Yes,
Because
there
you've
is.
got
There's a
there is
bylaw. Yeah, we have a separate bylaw.
Just
And
recently.
we updated it recently at town meeting.
for the
Yeah,
for the transfer station sticker holders.
For households, yeah.
yeah.
Can you send me
We didn't
that?
send you the memo, sorry.
I'll send you the bylaw.
Well, anyway, people aren't going to follow it if they don't know about it. And even if they do know about it, they're not going to follow it. So that's why you hit them with
Right.
pay as you throw. Then they have to do it because they're going to waste a lot of money if they don't. So they're either going to get, and that's the quickest way to change someone's attitude on how to recycle is hit them in the wallet.
Mhm.
That's the best way to do it.
But then we
Anywhere in the
really
country.
need to put our vests on and go stand down there because they're just gonna dump boxes of full whatever stuff into the
And
and yes, so that they don't have to pay for it in their bag.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, believe it or not, it doesn't happen as much as you would suspect, as much as you would think. Plimpton, we thought we would have an issue in there, and they have virtually no contamination issue, and they've got one or two people that work there when they're open. I mean, the residents get it in a real hurry. So, and they figured out that hey, the recycling doesn't cost. It's not like you don't want to fill your bag with a bunch of recycling because you can get rid of that for free, which is not necessarily free, but it's free to them. When they look at the
Right.
price of the bag, it's like, okay, only trash goes in this bag, stuff that cannot be recycled, paper, plastic, cardboard, just that stuff. You're not going to see, you're going to always get someone that doesn't really care and they're just going to throw their stuff, right? But for the most part, generally speaking, 90% of the people are going to do the right thing. So,
Okay. All right, let's hope. So it's certainly an option that I think we should offer to the public, and hopefully they'll buy in and understand what it means to the town, especially budget wise, because if we can reduce the tonnage to CMAS, and I think we're fortunate in that our contract we have currently, it runs through 2029. But at that point, right now, new budgets are, what'd you say, Todd, 130 to 140 a ton? And we're still in the 80s.
140 is the latest numbers I've been seeing.
Yeah, so we're still in the 80s. We're paying, basically 2/3 of what other towns are paying. So when our contract expires, we're really going to see our budget expand for trash disposal. So this is an ideal time, I think. We have time now to reduce the tonnage before we have to renew that contract. And that'll make a significant impact on the budget.
Would it make any sense for us to meet as a committee with the Board of Health? I mean, I don't know, I have no idea what's on.
Well, let's see what Todd and Sean and Kim kind of decide how to proceed. And certainly I think that would be an option. Don't you think, Todd?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I think that might be a really good idea once we know how they want to proceed. Right. Yeah. I don't want to get in anybody's way or do something.
No, of course not.
No,
you're not.
The plan.
No, you're what you have is the history of what happened in 2016, and we don't want to go down that road again.
Right.
So you are a very important part of this, Gene, because you've got all the history. So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that was soundly defeated.
Yeah.
It was. And it was a different group at town meeting. At town meeting, you never know how it's going to go. So, if it becomes a regulation, that's a decision by the Board of Health.
Well, that's it. If we could get the Board of Health on board,
Yeah,
and that was that's a direct line.
it is. It is. So I'm really glad that Todd's involved in this, that Sean is on board with it. Kim is. So,
Which is important.
well, she's one of 5 on the Board of Selectmen. We'll see how the rest of them feel about it.
I think,
But I
I think
think
with,
with education, people will understand the benefits all around of
Yeah.
going with this.
Mhm.
All
They
right,
should.
anything else, guys? We ran a little late tonight. Everett, good to see you in person. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Vote? Jean, aye.
Vanessa, I.
David,
All right.